Hello and welcome to another episode of Money and Me. Today we've put aside the supercar and we've gone for a rather lovely Bentley Bentayga. Especially as the weather's got cold, you can probably tell by my coat. But I thought we'd take a look around this lovely car as we're coming into the autumn season. So, without further ado, let's roll the intro. So, the Bentley Bentayga. It's been around for a while now. So this particular model I've got here is the 2019 Bentley Bentayga, so it's very, very new. And it's got the Century Pack on it as well. Now it's finished in this rather lovely paint job called white sand. Now it's a little bit different, because normally when I see these around town, especially around London, or when you start going to more of the country estates, they tend to be in grey, white, or blue, very business-like. So it's nice to see a Bentley in this absolutely gorgeous white sand. It almost looks like beige with a bit of white mixed in, but it is, yeah, it's absolutely lovely. Now this particular model is the Century Edition, so you get all the little darkened trims dotted around the car. So you've got the side vent here, which is finished in black. You've got the trim around the doors, windows in black. You've got the trim on the door handles. And my favourite part is the front grille. The front grille is in black with the light surrounds in black as well. And I just think that makes the car look so much more aggressive. The only thing I would say is that if you do go for this car, definitely get the wheels in sort of a dark gunsmoke grey, but I wouldn't go completely black as it could be too much. But you get these lovely Bentley 20-inch alloy wheels all the way around, and yeah, I mean this car is a head turner wherever you go. So let's take a look at the front. So the front itself is very, very aggressive. If this car comes up behind you and you're driving down a country road, a motorway, it's very imposing, it's quite intimidating. And what I really like about this particular Bentley is the fact that the front grille is massive. Not only that, but it's finished in this lovely gloss black, which just makes the car look a little bit more aggressive. And you've also got the black trims around the lights as well. You've got the amazing Bentley wording put into the headlights as well, and you've got the various different sensors. But overall, the front is absolutely, I think it's really grown and it's starting to age really, really well. And with every new edition that comes out, it's just getting better and better to look at. So moving on to the rear of the car, you will notice that it's very clean. It's not plastered with lots and lots of badging, which is absolutely lovely. Most cars these days tend to have sort of a number of different badges, and BMW and Mercedes are sort of key suspects in this. But yeah, the back of the Bentley is absolutely super, super clean. So you've got the single flying Bentley badge there. And again, you've got these dark, shadowy surrounds by the lights as well, and you've got almost a B-shaped rear lights as well. You've got dark shine around the number plate as well, and on the bumper. And best of all, you've got these amazing twin exhausts on both sides. And this V8, when you've got it moving, it sounds amazing. But it's one of those, it's got burble to it, so it's not very intrusive, which is obviously a plus. Now, the boot itself is automatic. You'd expect that from a £142,000 car. Excuse my bits, but yeah, you've got absolutely loads and loads of space. You've got 2 extra seats there as well, which obviously are automatic. Now, the only thing I would mention is the rear seats aren't designed for adults. I certainly wouldn't put adults in them. Kids, you can, and maybe teenagers, but I definitely wouldn't put adults, and I certainly wouldn't use them for long journeys unless they're, you know, obviously young kids. But you have got those 2 extra seats should you need them. All the rear seats fold down individually. So yeah, so carrying loads and loads of bits in this car is absolutely easy. And obviously, you know, always helps, especially with a car of this size, especially when you've got family as well. The rear end actually also lowers as well. So if you are carrying anything heavy and you need to lift it up, the good thing is this rear end does lower down, so it makes it easier for you to load anything heavy into the car, But overall, yeah, you've got absolutely loads and loads of space. So let's go and look at the inside. So let's go and check out the interior. So the interior of this car, as like most Bentleys, is absolutely lovely. I think personally today that Bentleys do probably the best interiors within luxury. Everything's really well built and everything just has so much style to it. But most importantly, everything's where it should be. You can find whether it's navigation, whether it's the radio, whether you want to make an in-car phone call, change your driving modes, everything's where it should be. Nothing's difficult to find. And that just adds to the fact that it makes this car so usable every day. Now, the only one thing you will notice, obviously, there's leather everywhere. You kind of expect it. You've got leather on the steering wheel, leather on the dash, leather on the sides, you've got leather all around the doors. And also you've got what looks like piano black trim all the way around with a little bit of chrome to finish it off. And that's quite nice because most Bentleys that I tend to see, and I say this a lot when it comes to Bentleys, that they always have too much chrome. But because this car has the shadow pack and a lot of the chrome has been swapped out for black finishes, having a little bit of chrome on the interior is actually quite nice. It breaks it up a little bit more. But yeah, this cabin is absolutely lovely. Now when you get into the back, the one thing you will notice is that these doors open really, really wide, but they are quite big. So if you're in a car park, you're gonna have to be a little bit careful. But as you get in, yeah, you've got loads and loads of leg room, ample. You've got loads and loads of headroom. Now this particular car has the panoramic sunroof as well, and it just adds so much light to the rear seats. So, let's take this car for a drive. Let's find out what it feels like when you're actually on the road. And hopefully you can hear some of that sound from the engine. So when you do get it on the road, it's a very commanding driving position, I'll tell you that. You sit quite high up and you can really peer down onto the road, and it's got such good visibility all the way around. Because these windows are large, the windscreen's large, you've got the panoramic roof, there's so much light that comes into the cabin that it just feels light and airy, and you can just see everything that goes around you. And when you're manoeuvring the car in and out of a town, it's effortless. It's absolutely effortless. So I'm currently driving along, and I've got it in Bentley mode. Now there's a few different modes. So you've got Sport, you've got Bentley, you've got Comfort, and then you've got Custom. Sport, well, Sport is sport. It's pretty standard. Stiffens everything up, makes the throttle a lot more responsive. Engine and the exhaust is a little bit louder. Sport is great if you really want to sort of really open it up. You've got Comfort. Comfort obviously softens everything up, makes the steering a lot lighter. It's great for when you're doing, hundreds and hundreds of miles, and you're doing a long road trip. The whole car just settles down. The exhaust quietens up as well. And then you've got Custom. So Custom, you can actually tailor the way you want the car to feel. And you just switch it into Custom, and it saves the way your specifications basically. So whenever you're in the car and you want to have it in a certain way, you can put it in Custom and leave it be. But my favourite mode is the Bentley mode. Now the Bentley mode is almost like having the car, you can leave the car to itself. So the car will judge based on how you're driving, the road in front of you. So if you begin to attack the throttle a bit more, or you feel like you're on a bendy road, the car will adapt to your surroundings. So the steering will weighten up a little bit more, the throttle will sharpen up, the suspension will become a little bit stiffer to keep you more flatter around the corners. The Bentley mode is, if I'm being honest, is the mode you're always going to have it in. I don't see any other reason for you to change it unless you're specifically out to obviously open up the taps a little bit more for putting it in sport, or if you're just really pottering around and putting it in comfort. But ultimately you can just leave it in Bentley mode and leave the car to do its thing, because honestly it's the best of both worlds. And to be honest, custom, you're probably not going to need it. Again, just leave it in Bentley mode and you'll find that the car will just do everything that it needs to do, without you having to do anything. So there you have it. That was the 2019 Bentley Bentayga, finished in white sand. Definitely very special, as I'm sure you agree. There's nothing like a Bentayga 4 litre V8 that produces 550 brake horsepower. That will take you from 0 to 62 in only 4.5 seconds. Not bad for a big SUV. There are very few cars like this Bentayga, especially in the high-end market, that offer three things: luxury, performance and practicality, as well as a premium badge. The car that I had today is currently for sale with my good friends at Grange Bentley in Tunbridge Wells at £145,000. The great thing about this Bentley is that it'll give most sports cars a really good run for their money, especially with 550 brake horsepower under the bonnet. Now if you like this video, make sure you hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time we make an upload. Until next time, I will see you very soon.